Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines hold an aid distribution for Typhoon Koppu survivors in Nueva Ecija Province. And we meet balloon artist Lin Chuanqin of Taiwan, who lives his life to the fullest despite his disability. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program with some local news in Taiwan. On November 18th, a tour bus carrying students on a field trip slammed into a dump truck on Freeway number 3, injuring 8 people. Among them, one teacher fractured her left leg and a student fractured her right leg, in addition to severing her left leg. Thankfully, doctors were able to reconnect it for her.
At this chaotic collision site, the dump truck driver recalls how the accident transpired in disbelief.
There was congestion because of an accident up ahead. I was stuck in traffic. Then there was a loud bang.
An earlier accident occurred at 357.3 kilometers on the northbound section of Freeway number 3, so some lanes were closed down, causing congestion. At 8:32 a.m., 800 meters behind the accident site, a tour bus carrying more than 30 teachers and students from Dingjing Junior High School slammed into the dump truck in front of it. As a result, the bus was deformed with damage focused on its front left section, and 8 people, including the bus driver, tour guide, teachers, and students, were injured.
One of the students' leg was severed due to the accident, so we're trying to see if we can help by reconnecting it. She is very sad because some of the students seem to be seriously injured. She's conscious but suffers fracture.
Now that the parents are here, we want to know if we can offer them any type of assistance.
The students were on a 3-day, 2-night graduation trip. The bus was one of the 9 carrying a total of some 200 students from the school. The police is currently investigating the cause of the accident, while Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to do what they can as well.
In mid-October, Super Typhoon Koppu slammed the Philippines, causing widespread devastation across Luzon Island. Following the storm, the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter also rolled out cash for work programs to allow residents to earn an income while cleaning up their homes. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers returned to the hard-hit Nueva Ecija Province to carry out a distribution for 2,749 affected families. Trucks transporting food, blankets and daily necessities prepared by the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter arrived in Nueva Ecija Province, an area hard hit during Typhoon Koppu. In gratitude, local residents reciprocate with a song. Soon, the sullen mood was replaced with a cheerful atmosphere. 83-year-old Gregorio Gaviola took home the aid which his family had longed for and broke out in tears of gratitude.
I'm so happy to receive Tzu Chi's aid and blessing. Now we don't have to worry about finding food or where our next meal will come from. This is enough to sustain us for the next month.
In reality, many residents here have yet to recover from the typhoon, one of them being Edna de la Cruz. When I came home from the temporary shelters, I found my house completely destroyed by the floods. I burst into tears when I saw my house. I never imagined this would happen to us. In total, 2,749 families received Tzu Chi's aid. With this aid, residents can now clear their heads, settle their minds, and start over. As the refugee crisis in the Middle East worsens, Jordan has taken in more than 650,000 Syrian and Iraqi refugees. However, as the Jordanian government cannot afford to support the refugees on their own, the assistance of charity organizations are essential. Let's take a look at how Tzu Chi and a local charity work together to help a refugee receive an operation to remove his brain tumor.
Iraqi refugee Fadi recently underwent a brain tumor removal surgery, which was paid for by Caritas Jordan and the Tzu Chi Foundation.
Thank you for helping my husband with his surgery. His health has improved a lot. Thank you very much.
Now moving to Malaysia to give patients and their families an unforgettable Diwali, staff members of the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang and Tzu Chi volunteers organized a special celebration to mark the occasion.
Here at the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, staff members and volunteers have organized a get-together for dialysis patients and their families in celebration of Diwali. The room is filled with sounds of happiness and joy, and there is laughter in every corner. Making the most of this occasion, children also took the opportunity to serve their parents' tea.
It's in all our traditional, on the festival day, we will be doing that ceremony. But anyway, I'm so happy to do it at once for my parents in front of everybody.
I'm very, very happy. I'm age 65. This is the first time I enjoy very much.
Celebrate Deepavali.
This event, organized by staff members of the Dialysis Center and volunteers, have illuminated participants' hearts with love.
Today, we introduce you to an 86-year-old animal rights activist in Puli, Nantou. Grandma Zhang Gui-mei began taking in stray cats and dogs 16 years ago. Then she decided to also feed the strays outside and goes on feeding trips 3 times a day. She has really become these strays' best friend.
Upon hearing the familiar sound of a scooter, these stray dogs know the one bringing them food is here.
They're always excited to see me. They chase me from this end to that end. It's very funny. I have fed this one since it was a puppy.
On Grandma Zhang's scooter are various kinds of food for dogs and cats. She goes around Puli, Nantou all year long, feeding strays at fixed locations.
This black one was near death when I found it. It was lying next to the road and was just skin and bones. The first time I only fed it water. It drank this much. The next day I gave it food. It ate a lot and has gotten used to waiting for me.
When Grandma Zhang finishes at one location, she then moves on to the next. Perhaps it is because of the grandma's familiar voice. Several stray cats appear from everywhere to enjoy the food she has brought them. Grandma Zhang knows when one of them is missing.
I saved some for you. Otherwise, you won't have anything to eat. Perhaps this one is napping.
Grandma Zhang became an animal rights activist 16 years ago. Not only does she take in stray cats and dogs, she also feeds those outside of her home. At 86 years old, she goes out to feed her animal friends 3 times a day, rain or shine.
I'll put on my raincoat and helmet and see if the rain dies down. If I don't show up, they'll be out there waiting in the rain. They won't leave until they see me.
Once, Grandma Zhang saw a cat crushed on the road. Can't stand to see it just lying there. She picked it up, buried it, and prayed for it.
Sometimes I feed them one day, see them the next day too. But maybe some don't show up for 2 days in a row. By then, it's already too late.
Grandma Zhang's daughter is worried about her riding around town in her scooter, and thus accompanies her whenever she can.
It pains me to see her doing so much on her own. Since I can't stop her, I can only support her.
The daughter has started a Facebook fan page for Grandma Zhang and posts her stories on the site, which have won the praise and support of many people, some of which even help pay for the pet food. Hopefully, more people will also learn to respect the rights of animals and do their part.
When Lin Tzu Chi Hospital Dr. Lin Chuanqin was in high school, his father died of cancer, which motivated him to pursue a career in medicine, specializing in organ transplantation. Known as an exceptional doctor by his colleagues, Dr. Lin always personally oversees his patients' recovery. Here's more.
Carefully placing the donor's organ into the recipient's body, transplant surgeon Dr. Lin Chuanqin is not only entrusted to carry out the donor's final wish, but also to save the recipient's life.
Director Lin provides all patients with the same level of care. He always comes to check up on the patients every morning and evening, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. Even though we have resident doctors for this, Director Lin will personally oversee each patient's recovery.
Confronted by the heartache and anguish of the organ donor's family to the anticipation of the organ recipient, Dr. Lin often found himself in an emotional tug-of-war in the past.
In the beginning, it was a back-and-forth emotional tug-of-war for me, but the master often talks about the impermanence of life. So I think what matters most is that the organ donor doesn't have to suffer anymore, and his final wishes are also being fulfilled.
When asked why he chose to pursue a career in medicine, Dr. Lin says it was losing his father to cancer when he was 17 that motivated him. Over the years, Dr. Lin has wound up as a family member of a patient and even turned from physician to patient himself.
Sometimes a patient's mindset, what they expect to hear and see, is often different from a doctor's diagnosis. This is when a physician's sensitivity and care can affect a patient. It gives them the willpower to continue fighting their battle and not give up so easily.
From witnessing the impermanence of life to saving lives, for Dr. Lin, his white coat represents more than just a longing for his father. It is a reminder of the expectations and responsibilities of a doctor.
Our medical staff care and look after these patients as if they are caring for their own family. I believe compared to surgery or treatment, this kind of care is by far the best medicine.
When Lin Chuanqin was 14, he was caught in an accident which crushed his legs. Through a series of complicated surgery at the Lin Tzu Chi Hospital, his life was saved, but his legs had to be amputated. Recently, Lin was invited to Taipei to reunite with his savior.
感谢院长，没有你就没有我。
Meeting for the first time after 12 years, Lin Chuanqin thanks Dr. Chen Yinghe, the now honorary superintendent of Lin Tzu Chi Hospital, for saving his life.
不错，多院长的福。我表面是很。
I'm calm on the outside, but inside I'm very passionate.
In 1987, when Lin was 14, a car accident crushed both of his legs. It was Dr. Chen who saved his life. While he was hospitalized, Master Zheng Yan also visited several times to encourage him. Today, Lin is visiting Taipei to meet the master once more.
谢谢师公，见到你真好。
28年了，现在已经9届了，烟戒了，应该回花莲就可以长期。
我会一去花莲就一定会去金色。
Receiving Master Zheng Yan's blessings, Lin in turn presents the homegrown fruit he has prepared for the master.
好久没见，就感觉。
It feels good to be in the presence of someone with such a positive energy. I will definitely make a trip to the Jinse abode next year.
Inspiring others with his life story, Lin says smiling is better than frowning, so he will continue to help others smile. And Lin helps people smile back in Kaohsiung by making balloon animals.
那小朋友很直接嘛。
Children are quite straightforward. If it is ugly, they will say so. If it doesn't look right, they will let me know. It's the best way for me to learn, really.
Singing while making the balloon animals to entertain people, Lin doesn't forget to teach the children that come by a lesson or two.
I try to reason with them. Often when kids don't get a balloon, they cry. I tell them, you're not spending your own money. Your parents aren't obligated to buy it for you.
After working over 8 hours making complex balloon animals, Lin's arms and shoulders are often tired. However, he seldom complains as he has a dream to fulfill.
I want to help the children in remote indigenous communities, perhaps by providing lunch or books for them.
Lin has not let his disability get him down. Instead, this Bunong warrior lives his life to the fullest and brings happiness to the children to the best of his ability. In Kaohsiung, a hearing-impaired couple is working to raise 3 children on their own. The wife sells homemade egg custard tarts to make ends meet. However, their stand was burned down accidentally back in October. Thankfully, through the compassionate workers at the Kaohsiung City's Labor Affairs Bureau, the family was able to receive new equipment to restart their business.
Filling the tart crust with custard filling, Wu Yali gives her daughter instructions through sign language, as she and her husband are both hearing impaired.
The filling has eggs, milk, sugar, and flour.
In order to raise her 3 children, Wu Yali helps make ends meet by selling delicious egg custard tarts. However, her stand and equipment were destroyed by a massive fire at the Kaohsiung World Trade Center last month.
My mother was feeling dejected as everything was gone. She couldn't sleep well afterward.
Dejected but not defeated, Wu would soon get back on her feet with the help of the Kaohsiung City's Labor Affairs Bureau.
The trade center's reimbursement was not as high as we had hoped, so our bureau looked for other resources to help her.
The mother said she was in need of a professional oven. The ones we normally use at home are not suitable for business use.
Thanks to such compassionate people, Wu Yali has now 2 professional ovens and a stand to kickstart her home business again. In the days ahead, Wu plans to pay forward the love she has received.
In Taiwan, the Hongdao Senior Citizens Welfare Foundation not only gives the elderly in need supplies, but will also go on shopping trips with the seniors to help them buy the things they really need.
Many solitary seniors have chronic illness or trouble seeing, and so they don't like to go out. Fortunately, volunteers from the Hongdao Senior Citizens Welfare Foundation are at their side.
I'm so happy going out. I know these volunteers well, and they are very nice to me.
Accompanied by volunteers, these seniors are no longer confined to their homes and can go out to shop for things they need.
I just want to make some contribution to society and give others a little help. Besides, I'm retired, so I have plenty of free time.
Currently, this charity is serving 4,200 senior citizens who are disadvantaged or living alone. Besides providing supplies regularly, Hongdao volunteers also accompany them before and during every Chinese New Year.
Before and during Chinese New Year, our volunteers will help seniors clean up their homes, bring them supplies, and go shopping with them. We want to let the seniors leave the confines of their homes and enjoy the sense of companionship and happiness that other people often take for granted during Chinese New Year.
With winter and New Year fast approaching, Hongdao is asking people to pay more attention to senior citizens around them and to become a volunteer to share a little familial warmth with seniors in need.
In Taoyuan, Tzu Chi volunteers recently helped the Zhen brothers, all 3 of whom suffer from cerebellar atrophy, fix their run-down home.
Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived at the home of the Zhen family to give it a thorough inspection.
The roof leaks because the washroom is located on the second floor right above here. I think we have to tear down the wooden plank to know the exact location of leaks. The walls here and there need to be taken down too because termites have eaten away the wood. The interior walls are hollow.
The Zhang brothers lost both their parents 10 years ago, and as the three all suffer from spinal cerebellar atrophy, they don't have the ability to clean up their homes, let alone fixing it. Upon learning of their plight, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to give this house a makeover. Although many items inside the house are beyond repair, Tzu Chi volunteers still make sure to keep those that are still usable so that no resources go to waste.
Life is full of impermanence. Everyone's life is different, so we're trying to do what we can to help within our ability.
These are all clean now. You can wear shirts that are bigger and give the smaller ones to your brother.
After the cleanup is complete, the eldest Zhang brother offered incense to his ancestors and parents to tell them that their home is filled with vitality once more, thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers.
Also about helping people in need, in Miaoli County, Tzu Chi volunteers recently helped an elderly couple renovate their cracked roof. Upon completion, the volunteers also held a housewarming party for them.
The renovation of the elderly couple's house is finally finished, and Tzu Chi volunteers are now preparing for a celebration this morning. Before the renovation, the roof tiles of this over 80-year-old house were damaged, causing roof leaks everywhere on rainy days.
On rainy days, they would have to use several buckets to catch the water that leaked from the roof.
Learning of their situation, Tzu Chi volunteers came and helped the couple renovate their roof and repaint their interior walls.
We renovated the roof and repainted all the interior walls.
This is very neat. Thank you.
The elderly couple were very grateful, knowing that they collect recyclables for a living. Tzu Chi volunteers also cleaned up the space outside of their house so they can sort recyclables more easily. Now, the couple can stop worrying about rainy days and celebrate their renovated home with everyone.
In the United States, we joined Tzu Chi volunteers in both San Jose, California and Seattle, Washington as they held winter relief distributions for the homeless in their respective areas. We will leave you with these images at the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.